Hi YouTube, hi Facebook, welcome to Create with Fabric8. Everyone's here now. Who are we? I am Amanda. That's Lisa behind the scene, the small screen. Matthew next to me, only YouTube can see him, and Facebook. Instagram forces us to do an upright video, so we can't fit in more than me. And no comments about how wide I am. Thank you. Okay, guys, listen, we are from the company called Fabric8. And if you want to find us online, that is www.fabric with the number 8.co.za. And we are here, hopefully, to be your go-to creative supply store. At the moment, we specialize in sewing, knitting, crochet. We have some crafts. We have some, what else? Stationery, not a lot, but we are moving, expanding the whole time. We also, the next big thing is going to be our fabric. We're going to have a curated fabric section. So we're not going to have all the types of fabric, but we will have fabrics that I like. And so many people have asked me to actually share my fabrics that I love. So I am searching for them at this very moment. Okay, so what is Create with Fabric8? We do this every Tuesday night. If everything just goes perfectly and everyone is in the mood and the power is in the mood and the Wi-Fi is in the mood and everything is just lined up perfectly in the universe, then we have this mostly every Tuesday night. Sometimes we do skip when there's big family parties or emergencies. And what we do is we have like a 30-minute chat session where we ask questions and just talk pink poo emoji. And then we do a tutorial, and it's a sewing tutorial, and I focus on new easy quick sewing projects because it just doesn't, it's not feasible, or feasible is the wrong word, it just doesn't work if I do it over 2 or 3 sessions. People lose interest, and we can actually see that. So we do short things. Tonight, for instance, I'm doing a purely tutorial on certain sewing things. So we're not making something, I'm showing you how to do certain things, but we have many videos, so they are always up to look at afterwards. And then that goes to about 8:30 because we have to be out of here at 9. They close the gates on us, so we normally finish about 8:30, so it's about an hour and a half. But we want to keep it fun, so if you have something funny to say, please do. Especially if it's about Lisa or Matthew. Don't say funny things about me. I'm too old.
We love your comments. We read them out throughout the night.
Yes.
If you have questions and concerns, no concerns, mostly just questions.
Yeah.
I read them out as well, and then Amanda can help you.
Yes,
out.
and we take questions throughout. I prepare quite well these days. So previously I always said don't ask me because I'm still thinking and figuring things out, but I am slightly better prepared lately. And this is real time, hey guys. So if you see me make a mistake, that happens to everyone, not just people who start sewing. So if you go back, you'll actually find all my mistakes, and I'm quite good at confessing them and unpicking or unripping in front of in front of the screen. So this is real. We keep it real.
I have never made a sewing mistake in my life.
Not yet.
Never.
No, Matthew.
I've also never sewn in
Matthew
my
is
life.
he's an absolute perfectionist. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Can
can't
you
do.
read out some of the names on Facebook? We have a lot of new Facebook peeps joining us, so we want to give some
𝐓𝐈𝐌𝐄𝐓𝐃.
You have to say louder, hey?
𝐓𝐈𝐌𝐄𝐓. And that's the only one I have.
That's beautiful Afrikaans.
Oh,
There.
no. Well, welcome. Thanks for joining. I think we have a lot of lurkers here again tonight. Please say hi.
Okay, guys, if you're on YouTube and you can't see the chat, you have to
Click the subscribe button.
And guys, don't worry, YouTube does not spam you ever. never ever. So you'll probably still have to try and find us every week. They hide.
Yes.
They hide your subscriber.
I'll give you the hack if you really don't want to subscribe to us. Subscribe, chat, and then unsubscribe at the end of the live.
Yeah.
I say that because I don't think you'll remember to do it.
But we don't want you to unsubscribe. I promise you. You can be there for the next 10 years and never come back. But just being a subscriber helps us.
Yes.
Elfie
Okay.
on Facebook also says hello now.
Hello, Alfie.
And then we've got a lot of people on YouTube. Sunay, Tracy, Pamela, Michelle, Meryl, Bianca, Gail, Kelly, Yana, Shanae, Nicole, Salma, Rainy Day,
Ooh.
Bint, Marissa, Bernice, Raylene, Meryl.
Good.
It's so nice
It's
when I
awesome.
incentivize you guys to show up.
Yeah. Okay, guys. So we also have awesome WhatsApp groups. They are specialized in that we have 2 sewing groups. We have a naaldwerkgroepie, or set. We have a knitting. We have a crochet, embroidery, quilting. WhatsApp groups, they are quite busy, but if you mute them, you only have to read them whenever you feel like it. They won't be bugging you. And on our groups, people are very friendly and very, very helpful. So I always say someone's bound to be awake and sewing when you have a problem and you need to ask a question. Also nice to find certain suppliers if you don't know where to get something. There's always someone on the group that is helpful. We do not stand for any infighting. I almost said inbreeding, but we don't like that either.
If we are taking political stances, that is against our
Inbreeding.
Guys, you might be alienating a section of our audience right now.
Okay,
We
we're
accept
into
all
it.
people.
Okay, no, we're into inbreeding also. We're into everything.
No, we are neutral on it. You guys can't hold it.
Whoa, okay,
Neutral.
we're
Come on,
neutral.
guys.
Okay, we're neutral on it. But guys, we do not allow people
To
to
On this live stream, no inbreeding will occur.
Yes.
Yeah, you see, our Facebook watchers just went from 40 to 20. You just lost 20 inbreeders.
Oh,
Right?
is it?
No, I'm joking. I'm lying.
Oh, jeez, I was about to say, guys, we do make these kind of jokes, but just to keep the live interesting. Come on, let's be real. You don't want to just listen to someone read off words from a page that she wrote this afternoon. Okay, so as I said, live and real.
Yes, guys. It's definitely not.
What does it say? Same
definitely
old
not.
old. Yeah, no, it isn't. It isn't. Okay, guys. So, as I said, Lisa's gonna post all the links. I think I just broke this from playing with it. No, I didn't. Okay, I'm gonna put it down. And she's gonna send you the links to those WhatsApp groups. All the patterns for Tuesday nights or Create with Fabric8. I mostly make a pattern. They are all available online for free for the first year. As soon as the year passes, we put them into a little book, which we are still busy with.
The 2023
They might be ready for Christmas gift. We are working on the prices to keep it low so that it's an awesome gift or just for you to have. Okay, so then.
Oh, I just had a cool idea. Because someone asked about new products. Someone wants to know if we're seeing new products. But on that, before you say, we can incentivize people for, let's say, Black Friday or Christmas, if we get done in time, to buy vouchers and send them the ebook for free.
Oh, yeah. Okay, guys. So the next big thing, why many of you are here, we have a competition. We are giving away a brand new FS60X. Here she is in her box. Go.
Veronica wants to know.
Oh, good grief. That's her in her box. Still brand new. I worked on her twice on live, and I actually decided tonight that I will be working on my own machine again because I don't want her to be full of dust and these nail products. When you hit the machine, it actually makes a mark on it. So I'm so scared of making a mark on this brand new machine. Okay, so the competition, you can go on all our social media. We have many ways to enter. There is only 5 days left. 4.
don't know. I think it closes on Friday.
4, 5, 3 maybe. Many
count
little,
today.
very
It
little.
closes the 22nd, does it not?
20,
I think it closes the
23rd.
23rd. Which is
23rd.
probably Friday.
Saturday. 22nd
Saturday.
is Friday.
Okay, so Saturday. So guys, you have 4 more days to get your entries in. On the live, we do secret entries. So if you stay, you might get more
More entries.
more
Tendai,
options to get more entries.
Tendai, Tasha, and Trishka, obviously the K's are represented. All say hi on.
Hello, hello, hello.
Also, Theresinal, also another T.
Is it
You said K's, Matthew.
Teresa?
But it was,
No.
it was Trishka.
It's Teresa, no. That's the
Tendai,
name, eh?
And Tasha. That's
But if
it.
you're Afrikaans, is it
Okay.
Teresa now?
Okay, it's not.
Hello, Teresa.
Everyone's saying they're very excited for tonight's project. Veronica, oh, not project, but Veronica, and they're excited to learn new things. Veronica asks, are we also going to cover the bias binding and piping feet?
I don't use a piping foot.
So the bias
Binding foot? Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
I don't think a piping foot is any. I've never used one. I don't even have one. I might have one somewhere. Hello. Hello. Okay, guys. So the competition ends this Saturday. You have to go to all our social media. There are many different ways to enter. I spoke to someone in the week because she came with someone to the shop, and she might be Anya, I don't know. Anyway, and she said when I walked out the gate, because they came to my house still, because the previous time Ruth is the lady who is a client, and she brought someone with her. And when I walked out the gate, she goes, "Oh, I know you," and she goes, "I think I follow you," and she's like on her phone. She never even knew Ruth was coming to Fabric8, okay? So, guys, we have many different ways to enter. And Ruth, I said to Ruth, sometimes I have this thing in my mind where I would like to give the machine to someone I like, or someone who really shops a lot, or someone I know that really earned it or deserves it, or her machine broke. And then I think, even just thinking about how would you scam the system, I cannot tell you how they do it. We cannot do it because Siri will not allow.
True. We do
So we use Siri to literally, we say, Siri, give us a random number between 1 and 5,000, and then we pick 10 numbers like that, and from the 10 we then draw 1, 2, and 3, and the rest get vouchers. Okay, guys, so the competition ends.
And I keep her super legit. We add every single name manually onto a
Yeah.
Google sheet.
We're actually
So
paying.
we type them. We type,
Yes.
if your name, like mine is Lisi.lala, so go follow me. Then I type Lisi.lala
Yes.
a
Okay.
million times because I would enter a million times if I were you.
Yeah. Okay, so we
typed it a million times. You did not use the copy paste functionality.
We're also really stupid. So
Okay, so we actually employ someone to capture all of this. Every single entry gets captured. Every single one. As I said, we are paying someone to do it. So we don't actually. Me and Lisa are not actually even involved in that. That person has no idea who you are. She just adds every single entry, and then we have a Siri.
No, and we have a bot that then adds up all those comments. So if you've been entering, you might have commented, "Oh, you keep calling Siri."
Yeah, Siri wants
Siri
to.
is ready.
She wants to speak.
Siri wants to announce the winner already. Siri's very excited.
You might have left us about 1 million comments, and you'll see I keep saying, "Please don't send a screenshot." It is because it clogs up our messages, but also because we have a bot that adds those automatically.
Yes.
So
Okay.
you will be.
All right. So just one cautionary tale: we will not send you. You have won the sewing machine. Click on this link. We do not actually know how to do that, guys. We do not know how to make that link where you have to put in your details and your banking details. We probably could figure it out, but we will not do that. Okay? You will be able to go and look at the live to know who won. Okay? So you don't have to wonder. Just go click on any one of our lives on any one of our social medias to know who won. If you're not sure and you think you might have won, just go listen to the last bit of the live. We will contact you, but we will contact you from Fabric8 officially, and we will never send you a form or anything to fill in. We will wait for you to respond, and we will contact you via phone if we can't reach you, and you will speak to either me, Delmarie, or Lisa. There will be no other people. We do not have Indian sounding people or Asian or any of those dialects. Okay, all right. We are all of us are actually Afrikaans, so we might have Afrikaans accents. I don't know if they are like these what's it, scamster.
But we won't
You won't
send
be
you guys
calling.
a link. We won't ask you for any payment details, and we won't ask you to pay for shipping. Everything's included.
Yes.
So if you're in doubt, just check our socials. We'll post it everywhere.
Yes.
It will
Okay.
be on a live stream. It will be on posts. It will be on pictures. You will see it if you look for it.
Yeah.
Don't fall for scams.
Okay. We do know they are copied social media accounts. We have reported them. Please report them if you see them. We've actually, last week I reported about 23, and all 23 reports came back as not against our community standards. So it doesn't help. Okay, how do you know it's us? We will have at least 10,000 followers, and we will not have a private account, guys. It will not be private. What is the freaking point of that? Okay, so at least 10,000 subscribers, not 356, not 79 private followers. Okay, those people are probably our followers that didn't listen, but we have 10,000 and more on all our social medias. Okay, all right.
I'm
So
very happy with how we do the competitions. Many people have said your competitions are always very fair. That sounds nice, fair. I love the transparency. Thank you.
Where are those comments?
Instagram.
Wow.
We've got like
you guys
23
are so
people on
nice.
Instagram. Like,
Instagram is so nice.
we've got like over 80 people watching right now on all the platforms.
That's
oh, wonderful. Okay, guys, and then I want to ask you to please.
Jana on YouTube goes, and only 6 posts. If they only have 6 posts,
Not
Well,
us.
well, that's a good one. Some of them have no posts.
Yeah.
They just stole our freaking logo and our name, and then they put in an I or a 1 instead of an I or
which is funny because people entered on one of the posts, and now there's no post on that account.
Okay, guys. So, I want to just explain that if you are new to sewing, I am trying to make this easy. Okay, so if you're an old hat at sewing, you might learn something that you didn't know. But if you're new and a beginner sewing, this is for you. Okay, if you've never sewn before, you don't have a sewing machine, get into it. Just look, watch us. I might inspire you to go get a second-hand. I always say beg, steal, or borrow for an old sewing machine. You don't need to get a new one. You don't need to buy one from me. You just need a sewing machine that works. Okay? So if Oma or Gogo has one, you get it. Get it from
them. If
them.
you have extra money, then you can buy it from us.
Yes. And if you need help buying one, guys, be very careful. Do not just don't buy the cheapest, please, guys. Save another month or 2 or 3. If you're buying a machine less than 2,800 rand, let's make it 3,000. You are buying crap. Even in the good names, listen to me, you will outgrow that machine very quickly. There's a reason why even Brother, which I sell, which I support, which I own, which I sew on, I will not buy their cheapest model. Why? Because it doesn't have the functions you are going to need for the next 10 years. It is limited in functions. And functions is not the same as stitches, hey? You get a machine that tells you it's got 300 stitches. You don't need 300 stitches. You need a straight stitch and you need a zigzag. but you need control over those stitches. Okay, so if you want to know what to buy, I don't care where you buy, I don't care what you buy, but let me have a look at it. Speak to us, ask on the groups, get onto the WhatsApp groups. Guys, those people will tell you sommer vinnig which machine not to buy. I am not allowed to tell you that on the live now. I'm sure there's someone in comments that can tell you which brand not to buy, but I am not allowed to say that. Okay, so
Veronica says, if you can't buy one or borrow one, then you must win one.
Win one,
And
but
Jana-
steal is also an option.
And Yana says, yeah, she's a newbie, she's borrowing to learn. And
Yes.
I don't know what she was responding to, but she said, yep, I got one of those with like an angry face.
Yeah, I know which is. Yeah, yep. This is the thing, guys. This is like, I want to say, anything you start, man. There's always the price is so good that I have to get it. Okay, and there's a reason for that, because that's how they scam you. And you know what the problem is with that? What really pisses me off about that is you guys go and buy that machine. It is absolute.
What?
It's absolute
Don't really look at me.
pink poo emoji. And then you struggle and it's not lekker to sew and you hate it. And then you stop sewing. And it's nothing to do with the hobby. It's nothing to do with anything but a bad machine. All right? Okay. Something else I always say is do not buy your sewing machine from the same person who is selling you your cigarettes, your cucumber, and your canned food. Okay? Because if you take that back with a problem, the person can help you to open a can of food, but they cannot help you with a problem on the sewing machine.
If you buy a sewing machine from us in the next week and you ask specifically, we will put in a piece of canned food.
We
in there
will
for
give you some canned food.
I'll even give you a free entry.
Okay, guys, so remember that 200 or to 500 rand that you are saving because you're buying online from someone that sells everything. I'm not going to mention names. That shop has no one to support you afterwards. Okay? That shop where you take your cucumber because it's not fresh, they will take it back if it's in the guarantee period, but they will not be able to help you. They will also not stock all the attachments and things and replacement parts. That is why you pay that 200 to 500, sometimes up to 1,000. I don't think it's even that much more from a registered dealer.
Plus, your hashtag supporting small businesses.
Yeah. But
Even if
But you can bug me all day long. And I have to help you if you've bought a machine from me. If you come to me and you say, I have this machine and this and this and this is wrong, the first question I'm going to ask you is, where did you buy your machine? Because that person or that shop must assist, not me.
Michelle on YouTube asks, would you advise against buying on Facebook Marketplace then too?
No,
Depends.
if you know what you're doing. If you don't know, I would never, ever suggest that someone buy a second-hand machine if they don't know sewing machines. Okay, so you need to find someone that can go with you that can sew and know machines. Then yes.
And then the chat on YouTube has asked for a moment of silence for Matthew's coffee cup.
What?
Just because it's cool.
Oh.
Matthew, when Matthew...
A moment of silence like it's dead. I'm like... I can break it if you need me to. It's not mine.
Okay, guys. So yeah, if you want any help, we have a WhatsApp line, and Delmarie is on the WhatsApp line. She is my new virtual assistant. She has previously worked for me when I had the sewing and pattern making school. So she does know the sewing machines, and what she doesn't know, she asks me, or if need be, you are welcome to ask her for me to phone you. All right. Okay.
Cool.
All right.
Okay, you can download the patterns and the instructions and the tutorials and all of those lovely booklets I make from www.fabric8.co.za/create, because this is Create with Fabric8. It is very well thought out. And you can join our WhatsApp groups at www.fabric8.co.za/WhatsApp. I mean, that's so easy. Yeah, go to our website, either Create or WhatsApp. It's easy.
We also have a WhatsApp group that's just for updates. So if you don't want to join the chat, you just want to know when are we going live, what specials we have, what if we have something new or things like that. We are the only people who can post on that group, so you won't be bugged. We don't even send a WhatsApp a day. We send like maybe one a week, two a week.
Honestly, I send a few on Tuesdays and then I
and then we forget about Okay, so
Sometimes.
this is more or less the time that it takes.
Sorry, one more question. One more thing. Bianca, I don't know if I'm saying it right, on Facebook says, "What a lovely shop you have. Was there last week and nearly came out bankrupt. Just wanted to buy everything. Love your personality."
Oh, thanks so much.
No, thanks.
Dankie. All right, guys. So this is the new format of our little booklets. They are very, very well designed, and
Oh, sorry, one more thing. For the giveaway, if you're tuning in for some extra giveaway entries, I will be giving you guys ways to get those throughout the live stream. For starters, you can leave us something in chat. What? Something green.
Asian.
Oh, I was going to say a pumpkin because it's fall.
Okay, pumpkin or a pumpkin spice latte or something Halloweeny.
Yeah, okay.
Comment that.
And only one, guys. We're not going to count 50. Only one.
One per person.
We will
Please
get
don't
them
spam.
all. Don't spam. One orange
person.
pumpkin, Halloween,
Something like that.
fall, anything orange, fall. Yeah.
Saskia, your first emoji was a 3D
With green.
clover.
Yeah, some
pumpkin.
people, Lisa said green. That's why. No, we don't want green. I am green.
But if you guys break the rules, so throughout the night, if I say comment 1, then you comment 1. If I say comment unlimitedly, you can comment unlimitedly. But if I say 1 and you comment 5, I'm not going to count yours. Because I struggle to keep up with all the comments.
Very
so there's
difficult.
a reason why I make the rules like they are.
Okay.
So one
Thanks for
now,
your.
but thank you.
Thank you.
Cool.
Okay, so this is the format of the new instructions and tutorials. Because we're going to be printing it, we are actually making it 100%. What's it called? It's free photos or it's drawings that I actually make, so that nobody can come afterwards and say, "Oh, you used my drawings," which we sometimes do because it's just easier. But we have changed that, and we are actually completely 100%. What's this? What's the word I'm looking for? Authentic. Fabric8.
What are we talking?
Real.
Sorry.
It's authentic. It's all us.
Yeah. It is.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
100% original content.
Yes.
We'll pass the plagiarism test.
Yes. Okay. So we have
ATM.
Fabric8TM.
we have bias binding tonight and
Wait,
piping.
top cam.
And can I just quickly
Yeah, but I'm doing top cam.
but they are, and we are doing the meter corner. All right.
Oh, but if you go top here now, you can see Mom's notes.
The note is gone.
Oh, okay, good.
Okay. All right. So they look like this. This is the bias binding one, the piping, and the meter corner. All right. So I just have them here so that I stay on topic. So the first thing we need to, for the bright young newbies, need to understand is there's certain terminology that you need to know for you to be able to find the bias or to understand bias. Okay, so when this is my idea of a fabric roll in a shop. Okay, this is what the roll looks like in the shop, and the lady goes 1 meter, 2 meter. Okay, so when we buy fabric, if you can think of this line going all the way around, round in this roll, that is called the grain line. Now, in Afrikaans, it's called die sterk draad. Daar is nie soos 'n greinlyn nie, hoor. It's called a sterk draad. So in English, that is the strong line or thread, okay? Why? Because if you pull any fabric on the grain line, you will actually hear and feel that there's absolutely almost no stretch. Remember, this is woven fabrics. This is not knit, okay? And then what we have here, at a 90-degree angle to the grain line, we have what's in Afrikaans called die swak draad. So it's the weak thread, all right? There isn't really I don't know what the word is in English. Maybe someone can help me. All right?
Draad.
Nee, die swak draad. The weak thread, yeah.
The weak thread.
It's there are more difficult words like but I didn't feel like you needed to know that. Okay. So if I take this fabric and I go on the grain line on the sterk draad, can you almost hear that? All right. So if I do that on the weak thread or the swak draad, firstly you can see that there is give. That's how you can figure out where the grain line is if you have a piece of fabric and it's not on a roll and it doesn't have its selvages anymore. But you can also hear, you can't hear it right now, but you can actually see that I am able to stretch the weak thread while the grain line I cannot stretch. Okay, so the weak thread and the cut edge. The cut edge is the edge where the lady cuts, and she's going to cut here. Your piece is going to be 5 meters long, and the two short bits is going to be your cut edge. All right, when fabric is on a roll, and this is the best way to explain it, because I can explain how fabric is woven and how you get the selvages and why they are selvages. But for people who are new, it's best to understand that if you buy fabric on a roll, these two edges, this roll edges on the roll, if I look at the roll like this, these two edges is normally your selvage. Now the selvage is normally slightly more densely woven, so you can see it. This is obviously a cut piece, but that is the selvage there. So it won't have selvage because there's no thin roll like this. Okay, so it's important to know when you are wanting to cut bias, you need to know where the grain line is, and 90 degrees to the grain line is your cut edge or your weak thread. All right. Oh, this is pressing. Okay, so what is a bias? Okay, so I'm gonna show you on a piece of fabric that okay, say this is it, and I can, that's the grain line, that's the strong one. This one I can you see how, I don't know if you can see it, but you could stretch so that's the grain, and this one is the weak thread or the cut edge. All right, so that is 90 degrees to the grain, and in between here at a 45-degree angle. All right, so if that's the grain like that, this is the weak. If I fold these two over, this line here is bias. Okay, it's a bias thread or line or whatever. Now I want to show you, you saw that I cannot stretch that. This one is slightly more stretchy, but check this, the bias. Can you see how stretchy that is? Okay, so that is why we cut on the bias, because if you're making clothing, a dress that's cut on the bias shapes better around your body, almost more like a stretch or a knit fabric. While if you cut on grain, that's where you get tailoring, and you cannot get fit to the body without darts and everything else. Why do we use the bias when we do bias binding? Because this stretchy bit, the fact that this can you see stretch, makes it easier to go around curves. Anyone who's ever tried to put a binding of, say, just normal ribbon around something, as soon as there's any curve, that ribbon will not actually fold nicely around the curve because it has no stretch in it. All right. Okay. So if you're looking, we're going back to this. If we're looking at this, we have the grain line, we have the cut edge, and we need to fold the cut edge over like that to match up with the selvage. And that, if I'm going to fold it so you can see on the other side, that is called the bias. But can you see where that fold is running? It's there. And if that is grain and this is my 90 degree, can you see that that is your 45 degree? That is your bias line. All right. Okay. So if you look at my pictures, it's all explained like I just did. So you can see that I've got my roller fabric, I've my grain line, my selvages, and then you can see that I'm also in this picture showing you that there's that one. Okay. And this one is then this bit that has already been folded. All right. So this folded edge here is my bias line. All right. Okay. So we need to cut the bias, but
Can I say what I'm doing?
are you talking to me?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I'm putting it on the screen.
Oh, okay, cool.
So just-
All right.
But then they can't see me.
I know. Rip.
Fine.
Okay. So firstly, you need to know which bias binding do you need. Okay. So how wide is the strip that I need to cut? So unfortunately, this is just a page further. The bias binding maker. It explains the different bias binding makers and how wide you need to cut the piece of stripper thread for specific. Okay. But we are just gonna
Can
work.
I ask a question about that? So I made this page and I'm not sure I understand the information. You're saying
On what?
the next page.
I will.
I'm gonna
I'm
explain.
going to explain it. Okay. So, firstly, that is a folded. Matthew, give me that thing. So, this is a folded corner. We can't use that. So, my first thing would be to draw a line so that I can measure from there. Okay. And now I'm going to explain how you're going to use this chart. Okay. So, I am going to make. Can you see that it says finished bias binding? So that is the little bit that when all is sewn is showing. Just the finished bias binding. Okay. So I want my finished binding to be about, let's go with 9 millimeters. So that's just under a centimeter. So I want to add just under a centimeter of bias binding on the front and on the back. So that's that 9 plus 9. Okay. So I am going to then bias binding cutting width is 36 millimeter. So I am going to measure 36 3. So it's 35 plus 1. So it's 3 centimeters and 6 millimeters. If you want to know the thing. Okay. So that bit there is 36 millimeters. All right. And I'm going to keep doing that. 35, 6 millimeters. And as I don't actually know how much we need, so I'm just gonna, oh, that's not right, sorry, I went 30, I went 46, sorry, So that's the right one. Let's just get that. Didn't look right. 35, 36 millimeter. All right, and these will now, if I cut them, I'm going to start that. So I'm going to start on that line. It's a little bit more difficult to cut when you're sitting. All right, so I'm cutting off the
This is another example how we don't stand for things on this, in this company. Even while we sew, we sit.
Matthew. So I'm just going to keep cutting. And I can see someone that is not me has used my cutter, but we will not say anything. Okay, and another one. And you just keep going. I find that when your strips get too short, it's quite painful to work with. But if you are working on small projects, then that is fine. Okay.
If you make a poll, would they rather see the booklet?
Okay.
Booklet or me?
I actually need to talk now. The teacher is in the class.
Don't look at me.
I didn't look at you.
Guys, whoever's talking in the chat, please be quiet.
No. No, it's Matthew that's talking. Okay. All right. Guys, I struggle to concentrate, so give me a sec. All right. So if you look at that, that's what we've just done. And that is our strips that we have ended with. And on the next page, it says, how do we join the bias binding? So we are gonna this is the same color, so we're just gonna go, that's the right side and that's the right side. Okay. And we are gonna go right side. Oh, it's my right side. There to right side. What am I doing? This is always so funny. Okay, there we go. I got it. So this is what, yeah.
It's moving now.
Okay. So we're going to go, oh, this is not the right side. This is the right side. Okay. Right side to right side. Okay. But there's a little bit of interesting things here. So let's just say we are going to sew this at 1 centimeter. So I'm just going to quickly mark the 1 centimeter line, because you need to think about this, because otherwise they're not going to. So we are going to overlap them. We're going to match up our raw edge. But can you see that I'm not matching them up like that? Because I want to show you what happens if you just match up the top like that. Oh, and guys, this has happened to me many times. So if I just match up the top like that, can you see that they actually don't match up? All right. If I sew them. So if you're sewing this, let's say this is a 1 centimeter seam allowance, you actually need to overlap over there by 1 centimeter. So if I now pick up this pin and I am going to sew this here like this, just to show you that if I do that and now I fold it over, can you see that they actually do match up? I'm going to actually just sew it quickly. It's not going to work.
Saskia says, note to self, don't cut material and watch. Almost cut my tape measure.
I've done that. I have done that. That has happened to me. Okay, so just to show you that then it lines up, and then the only thing is you're gonna just cut off the extra bits. Okay, so then once you've done that, you're obviously gonna open this up and iron it down and cut off the extra bits. And that is the basic of, let me just clean it up, of how to join bias binding, and I'm just trimming it down. I am now gonna, whoops, make a noise, get my ironing board out so I can show you, and get my mini iron here. So I'm gonna open that up. Okay, and if you're pedantic, you can just make sure that you actually have no flappies that stick out on the side. And now if you look at that, you'll see that I have the right side and right side there, and that is my binding. All right, okay, so what did we decide on we decided on the 36, which is the 18 mil. Now we have these really cute sets. They have 5 in them. We also have a 4 set, and we have them all separate also. All right, so how does this little maneuver work? Firstly, you are going to put your bias binding that you've just cut with the right side down. All right, and then I've used these before.
Are you gonna need front and top for this?
No, just top. Yeah. So the right side is on that it's down, and I am going to insert this just in there, and this is always good here to have a pin. Always good to have a pin, because there's a little groove here. Can you see that you can use the pin to drag this until it comes through on the other side, and then you just want to line up your, I never know what this is for. Is this for me to hold? Why is this here? Maybe to hang it up, I don't know. Anyway, okay, so once it starts coming through, you are just going to line it up so it's centered, and you immediately going to start. Can you see? Can you guys see?
That looks so easy.
I'm pulling it through, and as I'm pulling it through, I am ironing it, because I don't want to lose the folds.
Veronica says yes to pull. Jana says to pull.
Oh, you know what? It's because these are metal, and if you if you iron too close, this metal actually gets hot. So it's probably too, although I find this easier.
Yeah, and it says the loop is to hold when ironing.
Thank you, guys. You're smart asses. I'm joking. Joke.
Okay, so I'm going to just
I
keep
thought it was
doing
a
that until I'm done completely through with my piece, how long ever it is. And I will also show you, all right, once that is done, what I like to do, because I'm a little bit of a bias binding freak, this is our tailor's clapper, and especially with difficult fabrics, this is cotton, so it's very easy. But if you have difficult fabrics and you use the clapper, I shouldn't clap like that because of this. Okay, can you see what happens? Can you see just using the clapper compared to the bit that I've just plainly ironed? Okay, so you give it a little bit of steam and you put the clapper down on it.
Veronica says she uses her mini flat iron, and you can just like.
Oh yeah, you can also do that, yes.
It actually seems like it might be easier.
But my
Like,
flat
what's
iron
the
is not in my sewing room. If you have one specifically, then yeah. Okay, so this that we've just made is called a single fold bias binding. Okay, or bias binding tape, whatever you want to call it. Okay, so once we've done that, even though it has 2 folds, it's a single fold. Okay, don't get confused. When we do this, which you'll see me do often, because when you're using your bias binding foot, it actually works better if you do this, and that is now called a double fold bias binding. So it's actually the same thing. It's just one you did one more step. Okay. So that's that. And that is our bias binding done.
Karen B asks, where can I find the pattern being made, please? Or is it just techniques?
It's techniques, but the booklet is available on our website.
www.fabric8.co.za/create.
Okay. All right. So that is how
Link
we.
in bio. I assume that's who's asking. Who's asking?
It's
Instagram.
Instagram.
Yeah,
Yeah.
link in bio.
Okay. So that is the single and the double fold bias binding and how we join them. All right. Okay. So the next bit we're going to do is how we bind a edge. Okay. So I'm going to be binding that edge, and there's two ways, and everyone who's watched me do it knows that I actually don't use the proper way. But I'm going to show you the proper way. Okay, so the proper way is we have double folded bias binding. It doesn't need to be double folded. It can also just be single folded like that. But what we need to do is we need to go in here and just one of these little folds, we're going to just give a quick iron because we actually don't want to lose the lines. So we're going to see that was our double fold. Let me just get a piece of double fold here so I can show you. That is what it looked like, and all I did is I flipped that open, but not this one. All right, so then I am going to take the edge that I want to bind, and this one that I just flipped down, I'm going to go right side of the binding to right side of the fabric, and I'm going to line that up to the edge of the fabric like that and pin it. Okay, and this is the nice bit from just giving it a quick iron is I can actually still see that fold line, so I'm going to just be sewing on that fold line, and that's just a normal straight stitch that we are going to be sewing. I have a frog in my throat tonight.
You should swallow another animal. Okay. Who remembers the old nursery rhyme? Of the old lady who swallowed a fly.
Don't know that one.
No one knows it. I haven't met a single person who knows it. Let me know if you know the old lady who swallowed a fly. That nursery rhyme.
It's Afrikaans people don't do that.
She swallowed a fly. Why can I not speak?
But Lisa only knows it because I told her.
I found him.
What?
I just saw him do it.
There's no proof.
Pressing all my pins in.
There's no proof.
It's video proof. There's video proof.
Actually, there isn't.
There's no proof.
Ah,
He had his hand. I saw his hand on it.
Lies.
Matthew, don't do this. I can't get it out there.
I don't know what she's talking about.
I'm going to put it there. Okay. So, we've been trying to find the culprit. Matthew. Okay. So, I have just... Where did I put the scissors? What is it?
This is the video. It's quite funny because you just see my hand reaching on the screen on the YouTube.
Okay, so what I've done is, can you see there? Right on that fold. That is a very handy little placeholder or marker. Now what I'm going to do is, again, I'm going to fold it. Can you see I'm folding it over? But again, guys, I am ironing very quickly because I don't want to lose my folds. All right, and then see, I still have this little flap here, and I am going to pin it on this side, but you need to pin over the line. Okay, so not before the line like that or on the line. We need to go just slightly over the line. And you want to check it on the back, but you actually want to pin, like, can you see I'm pinning from the front because we're going to be sewing, stitch in the ditch on the front.
Which picture are you on?
I've just done that, and now this is very difficult to draw a picture of. All of this all fold over. That is why we do a tutorial.
Instagram, you can spam purple emojis until 8 p.m. for 1 entry per comment.
Oh, Marcella actually got it. She knew it. She gave the next line of the riddle, of the nursery rhyme. It's not a riddle. What?
After mine.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes. She
Okay, guys, so I've pinned it. Can you see? And I've covered my original stitching line because I'm going to sew. This is the wrong side. I'm going to sew on the right side. What is a stitch in the ditch? It does sound peculiar. That line right in between the red and the blue is the ditch. Okay? So I'm going to try. And mine's not going to look good because I'm sewing with white. But if you use either red or blue, your stitch should disappear on the right side. Okay? So I'm going to be sewing in the ditch. And because I have overlapped this, it should be perfect on the back also. So here goes stitch in the ditch. There is a foot for stitch in the ditch also. Again, I don't use extra feet. Okay, so we're gonna just get my pins closer, and I'm going to do a stitch in the ditch. And as I said, it is going to show, but imagine it is either red or navy blue, and it will not show then. Stitch in the ditch. Okay, so this my nails are too long. This is let's just put it out there, the right way to do binding, possibly, even though I don't like sewing something twice. Okay, so if you look on the back now, can you see, because I've overhang, I actually did catch the back, and my stitch in the ditch is almost, I did a little bit over the red there, but that is then the perfect binding. And the reason why I sew with white, I know this is not the right color, is so that you guys can actually see what I'm doing. Because if I sewed with red or blue here, you wouldn't be able to see my line. Okay, so this is the original right sort of way to do bias binding. All right, the same thing, but we are now going to use this bias binding foot. Okay, so first we are not going to unfold or iron or anything. We are using the double fold bias binding, and I don't know if you guys can see, but there's a little place for it to go in to the foot, if I can get it in there.
Okay, time out on purple.
Done. Finished. Klaar.
It is voorbij.
All right. So I'm just loading it up so that you guys can actually see. I don't know if you can see, but this little binder foot spreads it sort of open. And then if you look there, you'll see that the actual fabric can go in between. All right. So this...
Oh, this isn't in our booklet.
No, because it's not possible to draw pictures for this. So I'm just attaching this. And then this binder foot has two, let me just, before I go there. This binder foot has two settings. Firstly, this little wheel in front here is to change the width, because you want it to actually hold onto the binding. If it's too loose, I want to just make it bigger. there, you can see then it has place to move, and then it's not going to sew it. So you want to actually use that little, it's sort of a little blocker to hold it so that it stays nice and tight. Then it also has this little screw here, which moves the actual foot so that you can get the stitch at the right point you want to do. So I'm going to attach it to my machine. Normally it's set up, but because I was playing with it, it's not set up.
You can add photos.
Hmm?
We can add photos of this at the end of the booklet.
Oh yeah. What's happening there?
Matthew looks deceased, guy.
I know what you're talking about. No one can see me. No one can see me, therefore I'm not deceased or tired or anything. I look amazing.
Okay, so I'm just tired. Why does it feel like this?
So you're not tired, you're tidy.
What? Let me just get that. Sorry, something's happened here now. This button doesn't want to take my thumb. That's the problem. Okay. All right. So once it's loaded in, I always put it a little bit past the foot, and then I start by just putting the bias binding, the actual bit that I want to bind in between, and then I'm going to put that down, and I'm going to line this up because it's just easier if it's all lined up. And I should get a perfectly sewn bias binding that is sewn right on the edge. This is an awesome foot. The only problem that happens with this foot is, and when you've finished, it is quite painful because this has to be drawn through. With this foot, I don't know if you guys can see it, but yeah, I must take a slukkie cool drank. I get this foot. Can you see? I mean, that is a perfect line there, edged perfectly front and back. The only problem with this foot is you cannot go very thick because this little slot that actually takes the fabric can only bend open so far. Okay, so that is the bias binding foot. We do also stock them. We have a brother, and we normally have generics, but I don't know if we've still got stock of the generics. But
Diana asks, can you use the zigzag stitch with this foot?
Yeah, normally if it's wide like this, what I always say is when you want to test the foot out, set your machine to zigzag and slowly with a hand wheel, just let it go to the left and let it go to the right and make sure that it doesn't touch the foot. But yes, it should be able to do a zigzag. All right, so that is the 2 ways of binding.
Audrey on YouTube says, Amanda said tips is 𝐂𝐀. Actually, I think the green.
Yeah, let's not
I know that's
we're not talking green because we are not talking rugby. We are talking sewing.
I was talking about your hair.
Oh yeah, but I'm very scared that someone's gonna go checkers and the rugby on me.
But that's blue, not green.
Okay, Matthew. Green and gold. Obviously, I had that wrong.
I know, but I mean the whole controversy about the colors now looking like blue. You know,
okay, so
topical.
The next thing we're gonna do is the meter bias meter corner. Okay, so I might be. I don't actually know what's next.
It doesn't matter. I can do either.
It's piping.
Up
Shall
to
we
you.
Let's do piping first. Okay, quickly. Piping, because we are. Okay, so piping, you'll see that I say there that you don't actually need bias binding, you just need bias strips. So you could just cut strips like we did, all right? They don't actually need all of those folds. All we need is a bias strip of fabric, and you are gonna just iron it down the middle. Okay, so that's what I did here. All right. Okay, and then you're going to take whatever cord you are using and you are going to insert that right on that center line. Okay, and if you need to, you can just pin these edges. I always do that because sometimes the binding tends to, the cord tends to move. Obviously, guys, you can realize that we're going to use this, and it needs to be right side out, ne? Not right side in. All right. So that is the piping. You can use anything in there, guys. Don't let them talk you into expensive cord. This, for instance, is the draw cord that we have that people use for hoodies. Okay, so once I've done that, what am I going to use? Yes, you can buy a piping foot. I promise you it doesn't work better than...
Andre says, can you see that up close, please? I would love to zoom in. Andre, go check out YouTube and Facebook.
You got to go on YouTube or Facebook. We cannot zoom in because we can't have someone manage that camera. And just go on YouTube and Insta. YouTube and Facebook. We have a camera up here that focuses on here. But let me see if I can bring it closer. Okay, so I've just ironed it flat. Let me put something dark behind it. I've just ironed it flat and I've inserted the cord in there and I've just pinned it to keep the cord and everything there. And then, as I said, you can now go and use a piping foot. I find that a zip foot, because the function is exactly the same as a zip. We have something that's standing up like the zip teeth and we want to sew as close to that as we can. And that is why we can use the zip foot. So get that there. Okay. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to sew right next to, I'm going to try and keep my cord to the left and use the zip foot to get as close to my cord as I can, so that I can get that right, nice round piping bit.
So we should get another camera, I think, to do a close up of
and then
stuff.
I don't know.
Because it is very small.
I think I've been kicked out of Instagram. I tried to post a link to the YouTube on Instagram chat, and it seems to say it just went and said that my comment goes against community guidelines and on my Instagram.
But they're all the same company, is it not? Oh, no, not YouTube. You should have posted a Facebook link. Okay, so I'm just keeping the cord to the left and sewing as close as I can to it. Sorry, Okay, just keep doing what you're doing, as they say.
Teresa on Facebook is now finished. My also did this. There was an old lady who swallowed a fly. I assume Teresa's a little bit behind because she just finished that now as well.
Yeah, I'm just gonna stop there because my cord is like unraveling here. So I'm just gonna cut down there. All right, there we go. There's our piping done. All right, and now just to show you, I'm sure you guys know this, but what you're gonna do is, again, we're gonna mark, because I should have taken fabric. This is the right side. All right, and obviously the piping is right side on both sides, and we're gonna just pin it to the edge, right to the edge. Okay, and can you see that I'm putting the piping on the inside, not out, showing out? All right, there we go.
You know, you need my book.
I actually just need the booklet to stay on system. Okay, so I'm going to pin that there. I'm going to take the other piece of fabric, right side against right side. So face to face. And I am going to sandwich the piping in between these two pieces of fabric.
All sandwiches get 1 extra entry for the next 5 minutes.
But I'm not a sandwich. How do I get an extra entry?
Figure it out. Figure it out. Come on.
Is any cannibal willing to eat my hand? I will let you eat 1 pinky for 1 extra entry.
Maybe there's 2 boys on there that will let you be the ham in their sandwich.
Oh my god.
I don't think we have any male viewers.
Don't say that. We said that last time and where was that on the group? Or somewhere. Anyway. Okay, so now I forgot about that. Yeah. So I'm going to use my zip foot again. Because again, I want to get as close as I can. Alright? And again, guys, don't use white. And don't go telling people, she sewed everything in white thread. I know I'm not supposed to sew it in white thread. But this is one way of you being able to see what I'm sewing.
Is it 1 per person?
No, it's as many as you want until
Spam.
8:15.
Spam is the giveaway word there.
Okay, Andre said hello, full on male.
Oh, there you go.
Oh.
Yeah,
So we've got
Matthew.
what? Out of like the
Well
70
done
people
on
trying to
being
watch it.
male sexist.
Excuse me, you said 2 men, okay?
Okay,
that
so
means
you go
2
on
men,
now,
And
okay?
it has to be on the
Well,
same platform.
well, you could just do a sandwich without ham.
No, listen. I'm sure
That's
my
just
dad
bread.
is watching that.
Oh yeah.
He's
Okay,
not.
guys.
Bad
So
dad.
can you see? I've sewn that now. Can you see my training from college? Cannot leave me to cut and neaten up. Okay. So imagine this is a pillow.
Or don't.
Yeah. Who's the man to tell you what to do with your life? You imagine it whatever you want.
And there is my edge.
That would make a really nice duvet. Maybe you should make a
They
swan.
do this on duvets and on pillows. And there, can you see? And it's got the piping. And obviously, if you want to thicken this up, you can. You just have to make your strips wider. And there is the piping on the edge. Now, you can obviously do another top stitch there if you want. Up to you. That's
Stitch in
that.
the ditch.
Yeah, I've got a hair that's killing me. Okay,
What's
next.
Can you show how it looks different
To what?
to the bias?
Okay. I can do that. That is a
It's
bias.
basically the same thing.
Basically the same thing, except this one has volume. Can you see it?
Yes, because it's skinnier. Oh no.
It's got
that's not-
it's puffy. It's got a roliki
Okay.
in it. Okay. All right. So the next one we're gonna do.
No sandwiches.
Stop sandwich.
Stop, please.
Stop with the sandwiches. Okay, guys, is we're gonna do the meter bias corner. Again, we're gonna start like the very first one we did by just flapping one of these little flaps up. Oops, not this one.
Oh.
Don't do that. We're just gonna iron this one and try and keep the other one. There we go. All right. Okay, I made very pretty pictures. All right, and we want to do this corner. Okay, so we're gonna start by, guys, I'm not gonna, okay, wait. I'm gonna start by pinning. I am gonna pin because I am a lecturer.
So you remember when you say no more sandwiches, it takes a while for them to get it, and their chat and their messages come through
I
immediately.
know.
So they'll be like 30 seconds after you say it.
Okay, so I'm gonna pin it all the way to the edge, okay? But because I'm making a meter corner here, if you can't find 45 degrees, these rulers actually come with one. So if you want to find your 45, if you just, oh, I'm going to put, there's a 45-degree angle there. So I'm just going to put this in the corner and get my, I can just get a sharp,
Currently 85 people watching on all platforms.
sharp pencil.
Why?
We are
Because
gonna
we are
go-
hilarious. We are top tier content.
Okay, so I'm going to mark my 45 and then I'm going to just, oops, go to the corner. If you knew, if you sort of can judge 45, then you can judge it. I don't actually draw a line. So what we're going to do is we're going to sew down here and we're going to stop right there at 45 and do a back stitch and stop. All right. Oops, I need the other foot back. Come on. Guys, I want you all to learn how to sew standing above your machine where you can't actually see the foot. All right, so I'm just going to sew on that fold again.
Yeah, we need a stitch cam again. Can't see that.
The pictures are pretty, very beautiful.
No.
Okay, so I'm gonna stop exactly on that point of 45 degrees. Okay, and I'm gonna just back stitch and I'm gonna stop. Okay, next, can you see that I stopped on the 45-degree angle? All right, now next bit. Okay, next bit, I am going to fold this up at 45 degrees. The pictures are very pretty.
Yeah, I've got them on.
Okay, so I'm going to see that line, that's the 45. I'm folding it up like that, and then I'm folding it down to align to the top there.
I'm not gonna lie, it's actually really cool to see them next to each other.
Yeah.
It like makes it make more sense.
Yeah.
I think.
Okay, and I'm gonna pin. I don't need to pin this flap. All right. And basically, I'm gonna start exactly, what's nice is it's see-through, that 45-degree angle is there, but otherwise you can mark it again. And I'm going to start exactly at that 45-degree angle. I'm going to back stitch and I'm going to try and pick up a pin. I should have round pins. These flat ones don't work for me. And I'm going to just sew down here.
Marisha wants to know, what machine are you using?
This is a Brother F420 and I heard today, I heard a rumor that there is maybe in this week coming there might be a special coming on. I don't know what special, I can't tell you. Okay, so right now, this, okay, so you have this, but yeah. But if you just fold this back, iron it nice and flat, okay, and then do what we did with the other.
Is this how you make box corners?
Yeah, well, this is how we make. This is not the box corner.
I know, but if you
No, the box corner, you asked me that last week also. No, this is not a box corner. A box corner is something else.
I'm not asking if this is
The box corner is that bag bit that we sew. That's a box corner. Okay. So, ooh, this is not neatly done. Anyway, let's see, what have I done wrong here?
Comment your highest wish list item. 1 per person, 1 entry, please.
What? I've now given it a memory, so now it refuses to fold right.
Because the chat's already talking about it. Amina says the iron is on her wish list. Marisha says, oh, she wants that little iron. Veronica says the per mini iron is better than sliced cheese, and I love cheese.
It's absolutely a must-have. It's like a Christmas gift. If you can't get it, the problem with this bias binding is it is cotton. So once it has a memory ironed into it, which I now did, it insists to be like that. Okay, so it's, can you see? It does that and it folds over and makes a meter on both sides. All right, now quilters will know that this little bit, if it bothers you, you just hand sew that down. Okay, so again, exactly like that, we're going to stitch in the ditch around and around, and that is a bias binding metered corner. Okay, all right, so last one.
Are we on these pictures?
That is what we did. We're going there now.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so the last bit we're doing is the actual meter corner. What's the difference? They are both meter corners. This one has a binding added. So for instance, if you baby blankets and it's like a difficult fabric and you can't get it to meter properly, you will use bias binding to give you a nice corner. If you, however, are doing something like a tablecloth and it's all just one piece of fabric, or napkins or anything like that, and you actually want to use the fabric or the hem, the bit that the pattern or gives you to make the meter with, instead of adding another piece of fabric, this is the last one. This is what you're going to do. Okay, so what you're going to do is, firstly, listen, I am working big because I want you to be able to see it. Okay, but what this whole bit would be your hemline. So if you're cutting a tablecloth, let's just get a piece of fabric here. This is my tablecloth. This is exactly how big I want it in the end. You have to add your hem. Okay, because this is the hem. This is the bit we're going to use to fold to make your pretty meter corners. Okay, so
what did you use to write on there?
this one,
Yeah,
it's a pen.
it's very light.
Does it not show? Doesn't really matter, but
Yeah, that one's better. No, I mean more like the lines.
I will-
don't think they can see those. Or they
Okay.
might, depends on the device.
all right. So I just need another pencil because my points are getting very dull quickly. Okay, so this first line is half of your hem. So say you have a 3 centimeter hem, your first line will be at 1.5 centimeters, half of your hem. And another line, again at 1.5 centimeters. Guys, I am drawing the lines, but you obviously don't have to draw them. You can just fold them in the next step. Okay, so it's 1.5, 1.5, or 2, like this is 2 by 2. It gives you a nice thick meter. It's actually a miter, but anyway. All right, so what I'm going to do is I am going to fold on that first line and iron, and it is that bit I'm folding is half my hem. What is happening?
What pencil is that?
The pink one. Yeah, Clover pencils. Best pencils ever.
Now you can see that they're pretty good. They look so smooth.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to do it again on this side. This is the corner I want to do. But if you are doing a tablecloth, guys, obviously you're going to do this right around. Or if you're doing a napkin, this is going to be done all around. Okay, so I'm ironing it, and I love a clapper because it just makes it look better and just keeps the folds better. Okay, so once I've done that, I'm going to go back to the one that the first one I made, and I'm going to iron it again. So I'm doubling up. All right, can you see how flat that goes with my clapper? Oh, man. Oh, look. So this is steam. So the clapper it works better with steam. All right, you want to do this quite well because you're going to use your lines. Okay, so once you've done that, we are going to unfold all of this. Okay, and you'll see on my little picture there that folds. All right, and what I want is, can you see this little square here? I'm going to color it in. That square. All right, I want to draw a line through it from that side, through that square to that one. Okay, gotcha?
Yeah.
And then I am going to cut that bit off. Okay, and then if I fold this back, this has all been folded and ironed. I need to edge this. Can you see? I'm not measuring. I am lining up my folds because that is the measurement I'm going to use. And can you see that I'm just lightly tapping it? So can you see that I've lined up that line and I've lined up that line?
It's like origami with fabric.
Yes. Okay, I'm just going to lightly type that because I don't want to lose my lines. Okay, so once I've done that, I'm going to go back and fold my folds, and here you can start using pins. All right, and then I think okay, and I'm going to refold my lines. Can you see what I'm seeing? All right, there's another way of doing this, which I can also show you just now, but this is the correct way because I don't want to. So then I just go and make sure that my corners are neatly lined up, and then this, let's just pin
The
this.
person who asked what fabric markers or whatever pencils they are said, "Thank you, it's in my cart now."
They are the best, I promise you. I for years couldn't find them, and then this year sometime, we eventually found the Clover products. And I promise you, I ordered all the Clover products just because of these pencils.
Oh.
I assumed that if the pencils are that good, all the other products will be good.
But the sewing Clover products sold out quite quickly.
Yeah, no, we've got a second shipment or special order in, and we will let you know on the WhatsApp groups as soon as they arrive.
I think you will need to restock your Clover products after this.
No.
We
already have to because we've got very little left. Okay, so you're going to go right into the corner, and I almost want to say you want your stitch right in between the two layers in that corner. Turn your corner and
Lisa Bragg says, when learning how to make a pattern, which book do you recommend getting to begin with? Very soon to be released.
That's not good pattern. anything.
Okay, so depending on how much of an pattern making experience, if you've got no pattern making experience, I would not suggest that you buy a book. I would suggest that you Google, just Google interesting things so that you can start to understand how patterns put together. Okay, because if you jump into the deep side and you have not sewn a lot and you don't understand how pieces of pattern form a clothing piece, it's like building with Lego but in the dark. It's actually worse than that because you can't feel the shape of the pattern. Okay, so you need to understand, you need to dissect patterns. So you need to buy and use patterns before you start learning how to make patterns. All right, and if you then have a good understanding of making clothes from patterns, then in my opinion, I would always recommend that you buy the Italian pattern making method because it's just the easiest and best fit ever. All right, guys, so there's the meter corner. Can you see? All right, so there's a new one that people do exactly this that we just did. But if you are
Is this not to say fabric? Oh
No,
you
it's
said
just
it's for the,
too pretty.
No, the other ones. Versus the bias one.
the bias is just because you
Fabric.
you want a different binding on the edge, or you have a quilt and a quilt is thick, you can't fold it 3 times. Okay, so there's another one that I'm just going to quickly show you. Yeah, so this is the traditional way. This little thing is open like this.
Oh, do you like that?
No, I don't. I like it. I'm just saying there are people who are going to say, oh, but I can make my meter corner much better than that. And then you don't have this little open lip. I know that. Sorry, I should concentrate. We need to finish up. Okay. So basically, if we keep doing this, the other one, and this is not going to be as perfect, but
Sorry, a few people
Close.
in chat recommended a pattern book.
yeah.
I'm trying to find the name. I don't know why I can't find it.
Okay, so again, we have our little corner here. This, okay. So, and we're cutting through there like that. Okay, and we are doing everything the same except, and we're going to fold that up again. All right. And let me just think, man. I'm going to get myself all tangled up here now. I think I shouldn't have cut that off. Wait. Oh, this is... Okay. So then that's the outside. That's the actual corner. So you put those two together and you open this up. You match up those lines. And you sew there. And if you sew there, I'm going to show you now. So this is not going to be a perfect miter because I am not measuring. I have not measured anything.
We need for an Aldrich.
Well, yeah, but that's metric pattern cutting, my friend. And I do know why people are suggesting that, because that's what they use in the colleges. But that is not the best pattern making system out there. Winifred and Eldridge, and I think actually Winifred died recently. And that book is very expensive. And as someone who works from home and is not going to be working in industry and doesn't need to understand the metric pattern making system, my suggestion would always be to just do the Italian method, because it is easier and I can do both, and that's how I know. Okay, so can you see that then you don't have that little flap? So you get the same look, except you don't have this. which some people don't like. Okay.
How do you do one of the other corners where you've now already folded a bit and stuff? It looks way more difficult to do another corner now.
No, you do them all at once. So this one, you don't sew it straight. You would have done this corner.
And you would have folded all of them.
You fold and iron all of them. I said that right at the beginning.
Oh, must see now, if someone didn't hear that, they would also
Okay.
be like, what am I supposed
Yeah,
to
no,
do?
this is not going to do. You're going to have to fold every corner and pin every corner, and then you're going to go just stitch all around. That is it, guys. We are done. Hope that helps. Hope that answered all the questions about, just as a
Anything, honestly.
point of interest, we do have bias binding. These are 100% cotton bias bindings. We have a 25 mil, a 19 mil, and a 12 mil. Ooh, good freaking hell. And if you're anything like me, unless you want the bias binding to match whatever you're making, I quite like using these because they iron really well. And they come in pretty bright colors, which I also like.
Veronica, I didn't hear it either. Exactly.
Okay.
Hacemos.
Oh no, man. Why is it doing this? The sellotape is fraught. Okay. Any questions quickly?
And while you guys are thinking of questions, comment any family-friendly swear word.
What?
And
Is there
if it's
something?
not family-friendly,
We are blocking you.
you won't get the extra entry. But I mean, like fiddlesticks or oh my good golly. Yeah, darn is okay.
Yeah.
But not those three because we just gave you.
No, we'll
So
just
funny
comment.
ones.
Okay.
HE double hockey sticks. So you have to put HE and then find 2 hockey stick emojis.
Why is that?
Hell?
HE, yes, but that's that. Yes. in some-
Oh, yeah. Some people
some
don't like
communities-
that word.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's why I said HE double hockey sticks. That's how you say it.
funny.
You don't, yeah.
So that one also doesn't count.
You can't be making up. Just let them do what they want.
I do. I just
Don't-
don't want them to cheat.
Don't make it too too
I'll
difficult.
read you some. Fudge. Oh, sausage.
Thanks for the live. Oh, that's probably not one.
What the fricadelle? Shiitake mushroom.
What?
Mugus.
We accept Afrikaans ones too.
Clearly.
Piggy, someone's
just
already
commented-
done it again.
It's not me. Clearly it isn't me.
What?
I've been taking the blame. For
I didn't
this
do it. You did it. I saw you do it. It was
I
not
also
me.
think it's her.
I agree. That I did it one
It
time.
happens when I'm sitting next to you. I don't touch your pen.
Yeah, I didn't touch your pens again either.
Someone who's
I'm not
doing it, guys,
having.
who was watching. Nancy just commented pink poop emoji.
No, that's a very nice way of swearing.
Fiddlesticks.
Kom moeie, waar's my Afrikaanse
Moerdijk van
maatjie?
Donde.
Oh,
Ja, Moerdijk van Tonde.
Wait,
Yeah,
did
that's
you
what
say
I
that?
Moerdijk van
Nice
Tonde.
Victoria Knox scissors. That doesn't seem
Oh.
like one.
What is?
I don't know why. But
Is
it's
that
funny.
one?
Well, someone said that.
Yeah, you are an absolute Victorinox scissors. That's a compliment.
Oh shucks.
Oh, shucks.
Yo, ma's pink pantoffels.
That's a close one, man. And nobody said what?
I don't. Okay, I don't actually want to give.
Afrikaans.
I don't want to give Afrikaans ones because I'm not sure. I know it's not a bad word.
No,
but
don't give us.
No, rather not, Matthew.
I don't give a
Rather not.
flying thing.
Okay, Veronica.
Flying
has an
fig,
actual
yes,
question.
yes.
Where do you find those lockable tweezers on your site?
Oh,
Oh,
are they?
What would they be called?
Oh, that's a very
I
good
can
question.
find it.
No, they're not on.
oh, hectic,
We had a problem with those.
hectic.
We got delivery of the stock, and they all had different SKUs. So we put them on the website, and they were all completely
Different.
the same supplier gave us the same thing with 2 different SKUs. So we had the wrong codes with the wrong prices. But that's a very good question. And once I have my phone back, I will get onto that tomorrow.
Myself.
I've actually completely forgotten about that.
What is it
Yo,
called?
I just said medical scissors, and that's all one group.
Cook.
Cook, that's hy.
Cake. 𝐓𝐈𝐓𝐇.
Oh wow, that makes sense why I can't find them.
Yeah, I'm so sorry, I forgot. We had them on, and then someone asked us, and they asked something like, she doesn't understand. It's the same thing, but it has different pictures. And then we realized that literally they sent, because we received in 2 batches, they sent us the same thing, different names, different codes.
Yeah.
And then Sibo tried to figure it out. I think I also tried to figure out which is which. And then I might have just given up. I actually thought I had figured it out. But now that you mention it, I might have figured it out and forgot to actually finish it, because I think I'm going to have to refigure it out again, because it's such a big
What donkeys?
work.
What the flock?
Oh, ja, ek kan daai.
Oops things.
What? Oops things.
Oops things.
Oops things.
That's very that one's extremely clear.
Oopsie daisy.
Oopsie daisy. What movie is that from? Wait.
Everything.
No. Oopsie daisies. He says oopsie daisies. Julia Roberts is in the movie, I think. And I think it's Hugh Grant. It says oopsie daisies, and then yeah, I remember that bit.
What cook sister?
Ja, koeksister is nog 'n groot een. Okay guys, last bit. We are counting down 1 minute from now. Don't forget to enter. Entries closes Saturday, the 23rd. The winners will only be announced on live Tuesday. Create with Fabric8 at 7. And you're going to have to bear with us, because we are going to milk you for comments and likes and alles.
I added entries that day last time.
I know. We were
will
doing
do
it.
it
We
again.
were sitting, waiting. Guys, we do not do this because we are just so freaking nice.
We are awesome.
We are awesome. Yes. And I know you are awesome. Can you see? I'm like literally fogging up my glasses now. But we do this as a way of advertising. So guys, share, like, give us
We are still
Just
a small business, guys.
comment.
Really, we are.
You don't have to buy from us. You don't have to, I don't know, whatever. But we like a like and a comment and a share. It's free for you, and it means the world to us. Okay, guys, that minute is gone.
Big boo
Closed.
boo. You know, listen to this
Gedaan.
one.
Huh?
Annie says, jy's 'n brood.
Ek weet nie, is that a compliment? No, it's not.
No, we are saying family friendly swear words.
Oh, family friendly. Yeah, I never did. I never tried those. Next time, with my grandkids, I will, like my mom, say in front of them every time Lisa or Milan swears, go, not in front of the kids. We don't talk like that. My mom used to say that.
Jy's 'n brood.
Why do you swear like that? Where did you learn it? And I'm thinking, like, what do you think? Yes, you might have not sworn as much as me, but you did.
Bianca asks, does the bias binding clips create double fold?
Saskia, I'm not gonna see.
No. It creates a single fold, and then you have to iron it. Yeah. It creates that. Like that. I explained it has 2 folds, but it's a single fold. And then when you iron it like that, does it become a double fold? And that is my final word.
I don't think this is a family-friendly swear word. Don't say it.
Don't say it. What is
I'm not sure. Saskia on YouTube. I'm not sure. That is a family-friendly swear
Well,
word.
halfway. Maybe shuttle shock.
Yeah, no, that's not what she said. Okay.
Shuttle lock. Shuttle lock.
You.
Shuttle cord.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
Oh.
Bye.
Bye, guys. Thank you for joining us. See you next week, Tuesday. We're giving away a machine. Goodbye.